Hi, everyone, and welcome to another Friday edition of the Takedown Troop, your weekly TNA post show here at BC Wrestle Pod. My name is Mikey, El Jefe of BC Wrestle Pod, and joining me as always is, you know what? This is going to be a fun show to talk about as we always do here. But I got Radio Free Will here, who we got
You know,
lots of things
I,
to talk
I
about.
I don't know why I'm making the Mance Warner face into the camera. It's just kind of how it happened when we went live.
Oh Lord. I love it. I really, really do. So, anyways, Radio Free Will is going to be our Mance Warner for this episode.
Oh, so I've left this show already.
Essentially, I got to make sure to give in the friendo chat. Hello, Nick. Well, thank you for tuning in. I know he's for my East Coast folks like Will. It is getting late, so I'm not going to waste anybody's time here tonight. Varying degrees of stuff happening on TNA this week. I have some positives and I have some negatives. We're gonna try to be fair, but we also gonna talk a lot of crap. So if that is your thing, then welcome to Mystery Theater a la TNA Wrestling Edition, because that is essentially what this is every week, and it's one of the funnest things I get to do every single week.
The Waldorf and Statler of TNA. Just
Yes.
sitting up in the balcony, going like, "Yeah, that wasn't half good. Yeah, it wasn't half bad." But no, I fucked up the line. Anyway, you know what I mean.
Anyways, so intro really quickly. Y'all know where to find us when we go live, where to find us on the social medias. We got a merch store, bcwrestlepodshop.fourthwall.com. We also have, other fun stuff planned. But if you want to donate to help us do fun stuff during summer, because the pay-per-view schedule is now filling up. And there's a particular weekend in June where the companies thought it was a good idea to put like 4 pay-per-views on the same day, and I'm only gonna watch one of them
Oh yeah, fucking
live, I should say.
WWE smooth move, really genius planning. You know what? We're gonna try to counter program Forbidden Door with NXT.
You're not helping the cause, WWE. I was just like, you could have just had NXT do a Great American Bash the night before on Saturday, and I would have been okay with it. Honestly, I would have been here for it. But no, there's too many pay-per-views that particular Sunday, because you got Forbidden Door, you have Great American Bash for NXT, and then you have Slammiversary as well for TNA.
Oh,
I'm like, good God. We're gonna talk about Slammiversary because we are slowly getting matches, and I'm just like, okay, I see how this gonna go, but whatevs. Without further ado, let's just get into this episode because we got lots of things to talk about. Not really, but we gonna talk about some stuff. So the first thing that we're going to discuss is what kicked off the show proper after our recap video and the intro, where we get our first match of the evening: Edward Edwards versus BDE. This match went about the way that I pretty much knew it was going to go. Poor BDE, man, he can never catch a break. But honestly, Edward Edwards, dang well, if the system wasn't out there, we probably, I don't even want to say we would have had a different result, but BDE, the numbers was just too much. The interferences, everything was just let Eddie Edwards win because of the system interference and running amok and some shenanigans. So
if I wasn't watching these episodes at work, I would start a drinking game. Every time an episode of TNA opens with the system, take a shot.
Be hammered.
Well, I mean, once again, you're only watching one episode at a time. So, but at the very least, it'll make, the rest of the show at least a little bit, smoother because you'll have started drinking.
That's how I feel like TNA has been booking. This is like they're half.
Every episode starts with system. Every episode with system promo or a system match or just it's
like they start the show and then they disappear for the rest of it.
Yep.
I'm like, this episode in particular had some egregious, well, I mean, TNA has egregious sins week to week, depending on the severity of it all. But this episode felt so weird in terms of like when things were placed, where things were placed. And I was just like, yep, we're running to the end of the pre-tapes from Sacramento because we're doing live tapings this weekend. So anyways, poor BDE, man. I want you to get a win, but when it's the system, you probably aren't going to win. And he did not win indeed, because Edward
Yeah.
Edwards picks up this victory. The system, I thought they were going to immediately beat down. They kind of beat him down, and then they surround him, and then they beat him down. I was just like, I feel like the flow of that was a little weird, but whatever.
Yeah.
But then we get Cesaro at home, Fabian Eichner. That is, I cannot take credit for that. I got to give that to Will here, because he's the one that said it last week. And we're going to call it, listen, I actually like Fabian Eichner. I think he's really cool. It's just the comparisons and the look and the presentation. I'm like, this is Cesaro at home. This is the Shasta version of Cesaro.
Claudio Castagnoli a la Timu.
Yes. So Fabian Eichner comes out shirtless and in jeans. I was like, my dude, jeans are like,
and Tim's.
Yes,
okay, he's also rocking the Tim's.
I was like, the Tim's, I totally understand. I was like, we're gonna stomp some fools out. But to me, if I'm wrestling in jeans, unless it is Orange Cassidy, I'm like, I feel like they would be the most restrictive thing to wrestle in. And even Orange doesn't even wrestle in like real jeans. It's like those jogger jeans. Yeah. So Fabian Eichner does take out some of the system, but again, the numbers are too much, and then he gets beat up, and then Leon Slater with a really nasty looking kick to Cedric Alexander when he was running up there. I was like, oh, Cedric almost ate the barricade on that landing too. I was like, don't hit the barricade. Oh, you almost did. Oh, no. And then, of course, the baby faces proceed to take out the system. So we're probably going to get a multi-person match with BDE and Fabian and Leon Slater versus the system. I'm like, okay, sure, why not?
Oh, yeah, okay, TNA, answer me this. Why have a bad guy, a heel stable like the system, if you're not also going to establish at least a loose confederation of baby faces that is going to be similarly reliable rather than this sort of revolving door of whoever's new this week?
It's a ragtag of people, and I'm just like, let's be real. This is a placeholder until Moose ends up coming back from whatever he's doing.
Mm-hmm.
Because this is the other thing. TNA, like, continuity does not exist with y'all, because like last we saw Moose, he was attacked backstage, and we're like, they did at first they're like, oh my gosh, who attacked Moose? And then like casually they just drop, oh yeah, the system attacked Moose like a couple weeks ago. I'm like, thanks for the intrigue, you guys, but whatever.
Who could it have been?
I mean, really,
such a mystery.
We all knew this mystery was already solved. We already knew it was the system, but damn, like no follow-up, no nothing. It was just like casually dropped it. I'm like, okay, that's fine. And yeah, so
yeah.
So Edward Edwards beats BDE, baby faces, standing tall at the end of this. We're probably gonna get us 3-on-3 trios match. So I'm like, okay, sure, fine, cool, whatever. Moving on. These promos going, I was mad because I was just like, you know what? I am going to suspend my disbelief. I am going to be sports entertained. These promos are building up to our main event tonight, which is, the Wicked Garden match between the Hardys and the Righteous. And these are promos that built it up. So I was like, all right, boys, we'll see how it turns out into the main event. Spoiler alert, mixed results. And we'll get into that when we get there.
I Googled it today while I was watching this. The Righteous have only been here for 6 months.
Yep.
It feels like it's been so much longer.
Yes. And that should tell you how long this feud with the Hardys has been going on.
Exactly. And it's like, it feels like it's been so much longer because they've just been against the Hardys. And it's like, there's like other people have been able to sort of like switch around and like have other opponents and have other feuds and stuff like that. But no, these guys, it's just the Righteous and the Hardys.
And it's, again, we'll get into it when we get to the main event, but I was just like, and it's not over yet, but I wish it was.
Yeah.
Anyways, we'll come back to you boys when we get to the main event, because right now AJ Francis drops his newest single, or at least I actually really like this.
I like this segment too. This was pretty good.
AJ Francis, he comes out, he's promoting his new single. He unveils the artwork in which he, stole some things from Elijah's from not Elijah, from yeah, Elijah, sorry.
Well, and let's be fair, he did not steal them. He legally procured them.
He did
behind Elijah's back, but
yeah.
it's
So he procured some of Elijah's wardrobe for the photo shoot of his single cover, begins to, perform said single, and then Elijah comes out and it's like, "What are we doing, bro?"
And there was a part of me that's sitting here going like, I heard my guitar. It's like, dude, you cannot copyright an E chord. Okay. I don't know what chord that was, but like you cannot copyright a chord. Okay.
We have seen how many people have tried and failed miserably and entertainingly, I might add, for some folks.
It's like, I'm going to copyright a G sharp. Like, no. Eat shit.
So Elijah comes out. He's like, bro, what the heck? Why are we doing this? And then we learned that AJ Francis has procured a lot of things through some paperwork. And so essentially, and I quote AJ Francis on this, I own yo ass, end quote. And then AJ Francis beats up Elijah. I'm like, baller. I'm actually kind of here for this.
I did appreciate how he called it both Elias, Elijah, and Ezekiel. That was pretty clever.
We love callbacks in wrestling. We truly do.
Yep.
So Elijah bloodied forehead a little bit with this paperwork. AJ Francis.
Forehead. It wasn't his forehead, and I was actually a little concerned about that because when AJ hit him, he kind of hit him with an open palm,
right?
And he was Elijah was bleeding from his ear.
Oh, that's not fun either.
Yeah, so I was like, I was honestly a little worried that he might have like perforated an eardrum or something.
Man,
or basically what happened with Cody against fucking Fiend guy.
Bray Wyatt?
No, not the Fiend. Fiend, the rapper guy.
Travis Scott.
Thank you, Travis Scott.
Like when you work with middle schoolers and elementary students, you got to keep up with the pop culture, unfortunately. But yes,
I'm an old. I know it.
It's okay. We all.
I am Unk.
You are cool. Unk, but you are BC Wrestle Pod's Unk, okay? And you're cool. Ish. No, I love
No. I have never been cool, and I'm not about to start now.
You spill things on the floor. Love that.
Oh no, it was empty. It's not spilled. We're good.
That's true. Like no liquids have touched any of this electrical equipment.
I have never been cool, and I'm not starting now.
Never change. Never change. Anyways, so I'm actually kind of here for this feud with AJ and Elijah.
Yeah.
If I was like, this is an interesting way. I'm gonna be sports entertained, and sometimes it's all you need in wrestling.
Big dudes versus big dudes. Bunch of big meaty men slapping meat.
I mean, I said this last week when I did the show last week, and like during the Champions Challenge with the men's division, and seeing Elijah and Mike Santana square up, I'm like, my God, those are some big meaty men's. That is some tall ass mofos. It is insane. All right, let's keep this going though, because we still got a bunch to talk about.
This
happened. Darius is like, Indy, I just want you to know that I had nothing with doing with you, signing your contract with this faux training session that we were getting before their match. I was just like, this was a thing that happened. It felt very weird to place this here, but whatever.
Yeah, this was like, oh, lore drop. All right. Sure. Thank you. Goodbye.
Moving on. Like, honestly, it was like, what, maybe 45 seconds at least, minute, maybe? It was crazy. I was just like, okay, this was a weird place to put it, but whatever. We had to put it in here somewhere.
So I am torn.
Uh-huh.
Because I feel like I know what this is building towards. I feel like this is building towards a potential romance angle between Indy Hartwell and Santino Marella
Oh my god,
for the
please.
express purpose of grossing out Ariana Grayson Stacks.
See,
Like
I'm also torn
it's got
because
to
I'm
be
like,
that it's got to be the kind of thing of like, oh, that's gross. How dare you? And it's like, oh, you don't like it. You don't like it when people make out in front of you.
let's do it even more.
Interesting. It's and like I know, I don't know what Santino's marital status is, and obviously it's just a kayfabe thing, but like and I don't know. I'm torn about that. I like
I'm also torn
it
because I'm
would
like,
it
ew,
would be
nobody wants to see that. But
it would be
am I here to be entertained? Yes.
it would be funny. And the reason I'm not okay with it is because it's number one, inappropriate workplace behavior. Number two, it's kind of giving shades of Vince McMahon in the Attitude Era.
uh,
And
where's HR? Like,
and to borrow a line from one of my favorite video essayists on YouTube, what can I say but yikes?
yes, you get one of these for that reference. Oh my goodness. But yeah, I was like, HR, we need you to do your job.
Yeah,
Please, no. But I agree with you. I'm torn about. I was like, I think it would be funny, but it's
yeah.
also giving shades of things that we did not like any
Mhm.
time before this. Like,
Yeah, exactly.
anyways. Also, Daria, I don't know if it's your on purpose or what, but every week those shoulder pads are getting sharper and sharper. Like, I was like,
It's built.
we're almost
It's
at the level of a Power Rangers villain at this point.
it's built. It's building to a foreign object. Like that's you know what it's going to be. It's her she's gonna when she gets back in the ring, she's gonna start using the coffin drop as her finishing move. But with those shoulder pads, it's got the extra power.
Ultimate power. Honestly, if she turns into like an anime villain, I'm here for it. Not gonna lie. You know what? If Daria right here leans into being like, oh my gosh, why am I? Why am I?
you want her to be the wrestling Rita Repulsa?
Yes. Just throw the voice just because I'm like, girl, we're almost there. Then I would be in more than I already am. Oh man, but this was the prelude because after this we hear from Elena and I'm like, girl, I forgot we were on TV last week. I'm not gonna lie. I was like, she talks about how she's the best knockout and she's better than all these girls. I'm like, damn girl, I wish you get more TV time, but no, I don't agree with you there
Yeah.
because they don't utilize you a lot and it makes me mad. I was like, I want people to like you because I know what you're capable of, but you don't get enough chances to do so. So whatever.
Yeah.
Anywho, now we get into this match.
Yep.
I was not as mad at this match that I thought it was going to be.
It was fine.
It was whatevs. I was just like, I thought it could have been a lot worse. I'm gonna be real.
Yeah, it could have been a lot worse, and like I'm not a fan of 3/4 of the people in this match, and like, and even Santino, it can be sort of diminishing returns. Like he's kind of like he's a bit of a one note joke. It's a good joke, but it's still kind of one note, you know. I will also state for the record, as I was watching this today, I have been going through some sort of mental health stuff this week. And I'm like, it's like the depression, like it's not like the depression is not like why bother levels, but it's more like why does everything taste like mashed potatoes level. So it's like if I'm feeling, I'm like, I have a feeling, I'm not sure if this episode of Impact contributed to the depression or if the depression led to my opinions on this entire episode just being 5.5 out of 10 across the board. Meh. It's
you know what? That's very fair. And sometimes I understand where you're coming from, Will. I really do. Because sometimes I'd be like that too. I'm like, I was just like, it's in the moment. It's just like, man. And then afterwards, I'm like, wasn't as bad as I thought, but I still have some
Yeah.
issues.
Yep.
So, but I'm gonna agree with you here because I was like, even if I was like, I'm not. I wasn't in your situation this week, but even then, I already was not feeling this feud to begin with,
Yeah.
and this match didn't make me change my mind. It could have been
Sure.
a lot worse. I'm gonna be honest. So that's my silver lining for this. It could have been a whole lot worse, but I was not
Mhm.
entertained, and also it does nothing for. It was just there.
Well,
I'm
because
like, this
they're doing the same match at Slammiversary, right?
not that I'm aware of.
Okay.
Because so far we only have 2 matches for Slammiversary, which we're gonna get into in a little
All right.
bit. But Slammiversary is being touted that every championship is gonna be on the line, and so I'm sitting here, I'm like, we got 2 weeks, so here we go. No, sorry,
Mhm.
3 weeks. My bad. Anyway, Santino and Indy win. I feel that we're not done with this, unfortunately. So,
Yeah.
anyways, still hate the name Birthright. I'm just putting it out there. That awful faction name for
Yep.
that they're a part of in NXT. Gross.
Well, I
Moving
mean,
on.
to be
Sorry.
fair, like they already used up the really good one with Legacy,
That's true.
and and everybody knows that if you call something the new blank, then it's doomed from the start. Like, look at the new rockers, look at the new rock and roll express, look
Mm,
at the only two groups that were able to get away with it is because they weren't the new something, they just happened to have new at the beginning of their name, and that those were the New Day and the New Age Outlaws.
yep. Shout out to Xavier and Kofi. Here's hoping that these boys pop up in Wembley. Who knows? We'll see what
That would be great.
happens.
Like, it's here's hopefully those talks with Tony are going well, guys.
Please. Anyways, let's keep this train rolling because I'm like, oh boy, what's next?
Okay, I'm not gonna lie, I I slept through this.
That's fine. It's okay. I will say though, Mario, you kill me with this pose, girl, right down
Yeah,
there in the
yeah,
corner.
that is some top-notch screenshotting.
We love it. It is fantastic. Nothing really I'm gonna be honest. You didn't miss much, Will. So I'm gonna give you my quick recap. The Elegance girls and concierge George Iceman are trying to figure out why Mr. Elegance wants to fight Lane Lee. And then the lights go out. Here comes the Undead Realm girls. They all run away screaming. Well, at least the Elegance girls and concierge run away screaming. And then you just have Mr. Elegance just walk off the screen, like camera, not screaming or anything, not having a reaction. I'm like, what the flip? I was just like, I know we're selling his stupidity, but dang, bro has some sort of things. And you know what? The
Oh,
Dead Realm girls loved it.
you know, you say about Mara's pose here. I just noticed Rosemary
Yeah.
right there. Just like, I'm going to eat the back of your skull.
And then you have Allie right there holding onto the shoulder. It's just like, baby, we gotta talk. I love the Undead Realm girls. I want them to start doing something more with them because, like, we
Yep.
had that really cool saga in the Undead Realm, and then they fought the Diamond Collective, and now they're kind of just appearing and literally doing pranked, but TNA's version of it
Mhm.
essentially right now. Uh, or yeah. So, anywho, we shall see what is in store for all of this. Hopefully, the Elegance Brand girls will start a feud with the Undead Realm girls. That's what I want.
I think
And I wonder if they're.
like with
I
this,
want
I think the feud has started. You know, it's
that's fair. I'm also wondering, like, if there's anything going on with Ash because I haven't heard anything about her, being out or whatever. So,
mhm,
so maybe they're. I don't know if they're waiting for her to be okay and cleared
yeah,
again to start doing stuff like trios, but who knows? We'll see.
yep.
Anyways, after this little backstage segment, we get into that
I slept through this too. This
is
like okay, I'm not gonna lie. I dozed off in the middle of that promo with the Elegance brand, and I
mhm.
woke up to Zaya Brookside talking shit.
Oh, okay. So I'm gonna be honest. You slept through probably the worst parts of the episode. So
Okay, cool.
so I'm gonna be honest. Now I was like, okay, Eric, you've been entertaining me and Will here, like with the Steve Macklin stuff. Like that was
Yeah.
hilarious. Also, that clip did really well, and other people thought it was funny as well.
Which
But
clip?
that
Which one?
the one where we were talking about 2 weeks ago with Macklin and Eric Young in the background, where he was just like strong jawing it, and it's just like I don't. The best part of the whole clip, people are like, "Yes," it's just like when we were talking about, do we think this feud is going to be good? We don't know. Are we going to be sports entertained? Yes. Oh my goodness. So I say and bring that all up because I was like, okay, more crazy Eric Young. You know what? I'm kind of vibing with it. Like we haven't gone back to what he originally was doing. This is cool. And then in 2 minutes, they immediately destroyed any goodwill and faith had in it because he's like, guys, this TNA locker room, we need to clean it out. The cleanse is coming. I'm like, God damn it.
Why stop using that word?
You cannot use the cleanse. That is not, in the words of Mean Girls, that's what that rope was about. We should all step Caesar. Like, what are we doing? We just took like 18,000 steps back. I was like, I was rocking with you, Eric. And then we're back to this, you're back on your bullshit. And I was like, no, why? Which then prompts Mike Santana to come out. And you know what, Mike? Dude, I feel for you. I think you just having a good time and you just chilling. We don't know if you're going to resign after your contract expires in July, but like, he just be here, be chilling, fighting people. And I'm like, you know what, Mike? I feel you for this one. Because then Mike comes out and he talks about, it's like, what the heck are you talking about? You're saying that the locker room, the fans, everything is just wrong. You're wrong. And then Eric Young low blows him and stands for the title. We're going to get the championship match sometime within the next couple weeks, if not at Slammiversary. And I'm just like, all right, Eric. Like, I was rocking with you until this promo. And I'm like, damn it.
So I did go back and watch the clip of this on YouTube. And did Ricky Sosa just move on? Because he calls out saying like Ricky Sosa, flash in the pan. EC3 wanted his crown and is gone. It's like, wait, so did TNA lose more talent again?
I don't know about EC3. I don't know if that was just like a one-time thing or if they're trying to find some stuff. Ricky Sosa is a different problem entirely because it is the same thing that plagued Leon Slater and Danny Luna at the beginning of this year, visa issues. And I'm like, gosh, darn it, TNA. We talked about this, but then again,
you learned nothing.
You have learned nothing, but I will give them a little bit of, I don't want to say leeway. I'm going to give them a little bit of grace because given the state of the country as it is now, and you know what, it's a lot harder to get, international, especially work visas and visas in general for people around the world to come into this country. And to my friends that want to come here, I am so sorry.
To my friends that want to come here,
don't.
Yeah, no, we give it a couple of years.
Give it a couple of years because, unless you have no other choice, but then I'll be like, okay, it's still bad, but at least some of us will support you because we love you.
Unless you have a particular, mission that we will not condone in Washington, D.C. or something like that. I mean, we're not that we would condone such a thing ever, but like,
wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
Did you ever see that? Did you ever see that Whitest Kids You Know sketch? You know the one I'm talking about.
Yep.
It's totally illegal to say.
So it's like, yeah, exactly. So I was just like, Eric, I was rocking with you. And then all that nonsense came back up. And so Eric Young and Mike Santana is where we're heading. And I was like, the match should be fun because at least I know both of them could go in the ring. But I'm like, all right, well.
Yeah.
It's ease what it is, as the kids say.
So much for entertaining Eric Young. Now we're back to just sort of
back on my BS, Eric Young.
Bland, crazy, vaguely racist Eric Young.
I was like, dang it, Eric. Dang it. This is why we can have nothing nice in TNA specifically. Darn you. Now, if you come back being crazy with the tinfoil hat, then I'll be back with you. I'm not
Yeah,
gonna lie.
absolutely.
I feel so bad because I was like, it's not that hard. Just don't talk about the cleanse and go back to being crazy with like you did with Macklin, and then I'm back on board. Like
Hell, with Macklin, with EC3, like the thing with
yes.
EC3, like that was genuinely entertaining because you both of you guys just went batshit nuts at each other
In like the best way possible too. Like, anyways. So again, Mike Santana and Eric Young is the collision course we're setting on. Because for those of you who forgot, Eric Young won a battle royale to fight Mike Santana for the title, and we kind of forgot about it for a couple of weeks until now. So whether that's at Slammiversary or if we're going to get it sometime soon, who knows? We'll keep you posted as these episodes get closer to Slammiversary. But we move on from Eric Young and Mike Santana to backstage a segment. Tasha, girl, I need you to run. Like, this is getting crazy. And I was like, damn it, man. We're back to Tasha being the scapegoat again for like the 18th time since this faction's inception. I was like, damn, man, why we gotta blame Tasha for everything? This is ridiculous. But by the way, this promo was Ollie firing back and, talking down to Casey Navarro, who Casey pinned in the men's champion challenge. And Casey Navarro earned a TNA International Championship shot. And yeah, Ali talks down to Casey, and then he tells, without mentioning her name, it's just like, we're only in this predicament because somebody didn't stick with the plan. And everyone left, and Tasha's just like, I'm over this shit. She's like, I'm over it. I'm like, girl, run.
Yeah, another one I slept through, so I have no context for this one.
No, but Mr. Scott, but Mr. Good Hands over here, I was like, why are we doing the impersonation of The Rock with his eyebrow raised? Like,
oh no, see, that's not what it immediately reminded me of the meme of the guy in the yellow suit, like coming around the corner, like
we have fun on this show. But we are getting Mustafa Ali and Casey Navarro for the TNA International Championship. And I'm like, you know what? I'm actually here for this. It should be a pretty good match.
Special Agent Zero is pretty lucky. He only has to do half the job of a wrestler. He just has to show and do like the wrestling thing. Doesn't have to cut promos.
No,
like,
I don't think
that's
yeah.
That's got to be a pretty sweet gig in a wrestling career. Like everybody else, like you got to be on your game, like as far as athleticism and charisma and like getting over the audience. No, especially Zero is like just like. Special Agent Zero is a great wrestler for the exact same reason that I am a terrible bouncer. I was a bouncer at a bar for a year or one season, I guess, and
really?
It was Halloween season in Salem.
Yeah,
tell me about it.
I hear Halloween, and I'm like, oh.
Well, and then I told, because I knew the owners of the bar, and they asked me if I wanted to do it. It was an under the table job, so it's like, and I'm like, you guys know that I'm not really a fighter or anything like that, and it's like, no, we know, we just need you to not talk. And it's because I'm 6'4", 300 pounds, like I'm a big dude, and like that works great as I'm sitting here like. And then, of course, the illusion is broken the minute go like, hey, guys, can I just see your IDs real quick? Awesome. Thank you. Have a great night.
That's funny. So we keep teasing every couple of months. There's always some sort of dissension into Order 4. And I'm just like, what are we doing? We've gone down this road too many times, you guys. Like, come on. Anyways, Casey, but again, Mustafa Ali versus Casey Navarro is actually, I'm excited for that. I think this is going to be a pretty good match.
Hell yeah.
I'm rooting for Casey, man. I'm glad that he's back. I want Casey to do well. So we keep this rolling though, because that is my notes for this.
Like I said, I woke up to Zaya Brookside talking shit. So it's
God, this was the worst part of the show. I just like, Carlos Silva, I need you to stay in the cuck chair, as Steve Macklin called it, and just like, what? I was just like, what the fuck was this? I was just like, what are we doing? I don't understand. And yeah, this, you know what? This match gets this noise for me. This is our weekly thing now. You get the large boo because this was hot garbage. I was just like, you gonna have Mr. Elegance beat your knockouts champion? What the fuck?
That is what the fuck worthy.
That is exactly. Yeah. Elegance brand gets kicked out for running interference. Zaya Brookside causes a distraction. Mr. Elegance wins.
In other words, the Elegance brand is kicked out for interference. In other news, water is wet.
Yes. And the sun is warm. So this was whack. I hated this. Zaya gets into the ring on the microphone, and you woke up to her talking massive amounts of shit.
Yep.
And I was like, girl, I love you, but I can't take you seriously. Like, I love you, but I can't take you seriously as a heel. But the important thing that did come out of her mouth is that we have this match set for Slammiversary.
Cool.
I was like, you know what? We're trying. I don't listen. I'm not here to root against people because you know what? They can pleasantly surprise me.
Yeah, but it's like when matches like this, like we need to make a big announcement that this match is happening. Like, okay, yeah, and there's dirt on the ground.
We already knew this match.
We knew this was coming.
Yeah, well, especially after last week because Zaya was the one who won the Knockouts Champion Challenge by pinning Lei Lee, so we knew that match was coming. But it's interesting that they announced this for Slammiversary, which means I smell a stunt between Eric Young and Mike Santana. Like, they didn't announce that for Slammiversary yet, so I'm like, I smell a stunt.
Please let the stunt be Nick Nemeth cashing in his fucking trophy.
Seriously.
So that we can just finally, like, he's like, nope, boop, it's triple threat now.
That would be, I'm not gonna lie, that'd be fantastic. That'd be great. So I said this earlier. There are 2 matches so far announced for Slammiversary. We have this one, and then we have Ultimate X coming back, and we have 2 out of the 4 participants already announced. No qualifiers, no nothing. And so far, of course, Cedric Alexander will be in it as he is the champion for the X Division Championship, and then the other person already announced is the former X Division champion Leon Slater, and we got 4 more people. So I'm looking at this roster. I'm like, we're probably gonna need to pull some people from other places, probably. Yep. But I'm like, where? I was like, the only other names I could see, I was like, okay, put Casey in that match because I think that'd be great.
Well, and then if he's not if he's still feuding with
Ali, that's true.
Potentially returning Myron Reed.
Oh my god, or Trey Miguel, yeah.
Trey Miguel, yeah. Sorry,
I was like, Myron, the other rascal. Yeah. So Trey, oh my gosh, Trey would be great if he's ready to go. Mm-hmm. You know what? Give BDE a shot, depending on what happens with this whole system thing.
Why? So we can lose again?
I mean, it's true. We're gonna have 1 winner and 5 losers in this match. So yeah, that's true.
Who the hell else?
And technically, nobody gets pinned in Ultimate X. So let's
see who else. Like, yeah,
because it's system adjacent.
No. I know who else they're gonna put in there.
Who?
Ryan.
Oh.
Yeah.
Anyways.
And no. Oh God. No. Oh no, please not that. Anything but that.
I'm scared to ask you what you thought about, but I'm gonna ask you because it makes good content. What?
They put Ryan Nemeth in Ultimate X, and he wins the X Division title.
Oh no!
Nick Nemeth cashes in his Call Your Shot, and he wins the world title.
Oh no! In the words of a telenovela, ¿por qué?
I thought it was bad when they were teasing at the system winning so much gold. No, that's worse. That's worse.
See, now you put it out in the universe, and now that it's a possibility, and I'm mad at you.
Yeah. I know. I fucked
I'm
up.
gonna say I'm mad at you because I don't hate you. I'm mad at you though. I'll get over it though in the next 5 seconds. All right, main event time.
Yeah,
So,
time to crack this pig.
so okay, I want to start off with this because I went back and forth with it because I was just like, do I am I going to be more positive? Am I going to be more negative, or am I going to go down the middle? I'm going to go probably more down the middle, lean towards like this was kind of crap, but for different reasons. So, main event is the Wicked Garden match, which sees the Righteous take on the Broken Hardys, is what we came to learn in the entrance of this match. Um, I want to say that I want to start off with the positives because I think
Sure.
the concept and the visual
Yeah.
presentation of the match itself is wicked cool. I've
Yes.
never seen it before. I love that it's barbed wire covered in floral arrangements, and we have like barbed wire, like garden fencing
It's
in the corners too, which I was like, listen, this is a really cool concept.
yeah.
And even the light fixtures and everything was cool. And that is where the positive stops because
This
I don't think the Hardys were the correct people to fight this match against the Righteous. That is my biggest issue with this match.
I was when I saw like Wicked, they didn't let us know what a Wicked Garden match was, and as I was watching them sort of like put the barbed wire and the floral arrangements around the ropes, I'm like, okay, it's a barbed wire match. I'm here for this. I'm like, I am okay with this. You know me, I'm a sicko. I'm an old ECW fan. I'm an AEW fan. This should be right up my alley, right? This should be the thing that this should be exciting. And I'm sitting here watching it going like, why am I bored? And I think it has to do I don't think it has to do with the Righteous because obviously they're AEW alumni and so they've been in the locker room with the sickos. I don't think it's fully on the shoulders of the Hardys. I think this is the kind of match where you need people that are going to be able to really bring the dynamism. If that's the word I'm looking. I'm not sure that's the right word, but like you need people that can really have those dynamic moments, those really the big spots, the over the top stuff. The like this is if they had presented this in AEW and had this match against like I don't know, Private Party or against like who else would, or hell, if they had this against the Rascals, you know, like I could see this being a really good, really big, bold, dynamic match. The Hardys are not that anymore.
No.
They're the OGs of that. Don't get me wrong. But this much farther into their career, in their 50s,
yeah, it's it. And the sad part is that the definitely showed in this match, like more so than I felt like. And we always bring it up every time we see the Hardys doing these like extreme matches in TNA over the last year and a half or so, and all that stuff. But to me, this match definitely was I felt it the most so far, and I was like, oh, this
this
oh
this okay, like, and as I'm sitting here thinking about it, you know what I would kind of compare it to? Maybe not to the same extent, maybe not to the same level of like this is embarrassing because the match that I'm about to reference was really embarrassing for both parties involved. WrestleMania 35, I think, Roman Reigns versus The Undertaker.
oh my gosh.
And this was still at the peak of like trying to make Roman Reigns babyface.
Mm-hmm.
And it was I don't think that was 35, but like you know the one I'm talking about, and and
Yep.
God love them, the announce table is doing their best to really sell. It's like, oh, the big dog's hunting. I can very specifically remember watching that WrestleMania and thinking, this isn't the big dog hunting. This is the hunter finding a 12-point buck on the side of the road on his way home from the hunting trip, throwing it on his car and say, look what I caught. That's what, it's not quite that level because the Hardys, put it this way, the Hardys aren't as old as Taker was in that moment.
Right.
But we're getting there. We are seeing shades of that. We are seeing shades of the, like I've been saying for months, of like, guys, it's okay. Your legacy is secure. No one is going to be taking this away, or like if they are taking it, like someone is going to take it away at some point, but you guys are going down in history as one of the greatest tag teams ever. Hands down.
100%.
Like people are saying the Hardy Boys in the same breath as the Four Horsemen, the Legion of Doom, the Dudley Boys, the Rockers, whoever, the Outsiders, like same breath. The Hardys are in that conversation, you know? And like, and I said as I was going to this, I don't put the blame entirely on the Hardys.
Me neither.
Also, I think this was a weird sell for a TNA crowd. Because this, like I said, this match would have been right at home in AEW.
Right.
This match would have been right at home in GCW. It would have been like if you had brought this to the indies and like really played it up, and once again had a different opponent besides the Hardy Boys, this match would have been fire. This would have been great. You would have been able to say like, okay, what can we do with the flowers and the barbed wire and like the it's not a credenza, but those the lattice things that they had set up in the corners. Like, what can we do with these and make it really fun and interesting and engaging? And like, and honestly, I think because of this, it all came off as a little half-baked.
Yeah, and I think that's the most unfortunate part about this, because again, I'm always wanting wrestling companies to go out and try new things and to take risks, because you know you want to try new things and see what happens.
Oh, and I love a signature match. Like I love something that is by definition belongs to this wrestler or this tag team, like TLC was for the Hardys and the Dudleys back in the day, even though they were always kind of garbage, I loved a good Inferno match. I mean, I understand good Inferno match is kind of an oxymoron, but like it was still a fun tweak on something, you know, like something that it was like, this is just for Kane, you know, and having a Wicked Garden match, something just for the Righteous. That's really cool. I like that a lot. But I think they need to bring it back to the drawing board. No, maybe not back to maybe not all the way back to the drawing board.
Just tweak some things a little bit.
Yeah, like you've had this first one, and it was you need to let it marinate a little bit longer, you know, and you need to, and if you're really going to establish this as like a signature match for the Righteous, you need to make the Righteous look completely dominant in it. I think there was too much in it that showed too much reverence for the Hardys, and once again, I think that's because the Hardys, being as old as they are, either by instinct or by necessity, are playing it way safer than they ever have.
Yeah,
and in that, so that means they're not just in the sense of like they're taking less risks in their offense. It also means they're not selling as hard. So that means like if you were to have this match with the Rascals, like you'd be like they'd be ragdolling all over the goddamn place. Like so, like you would you throw Myron Reed, and once again, I know AEW, but like if you throw Myron Reed into Dutch and have him hit that death walks into that lattice thing, and you make him sell that shit.
Exactly. And I'm thinking of like, and obviously I don't want to just put random people, but like looking at this TNA roster that we have right now, I would need a little bit more convincing, but I'm gonna be honest. I feel like someone like a Brian Myers or even a Bear Bronson would be able to take this,
Oh
especially
yeah.
Bear, because I was like, Bear, we have seen your work on the independents, especially you becoming a death match type of wrestler in the last year as well. I think I think the system versus the Righteous in a Wicked Garden match could actually work.
Okay, you know who I think would actually work better against the Righteous in a Wicked Garden match is the Great Hands.
Oh my gosh, you're right.
Right, the right have like once this
Both
thing
of
with the
them.
Hardys ends, that's who they should feud with next. Have the Righteous turn babyface against Order 4.
Yes, and take them down. Yeah, see, TNA, it's not that hard. Seriously, it's really not. So to kind of finalize, well, our thoughts, and you can tell me if I'm right or wrong on this. We love the concept, and the presentation is really cool. But there are some things that need to marinate for a little bit, and finding teams that can actually sell. I don't want to say right because that's not the right word, but sell a bit better for the Righteous and just over big spots in general.
One last nitpick to make.
Mm-hmm.
The Lily of the Valley spot didn't land.
Mm-mm. I
That
was
was
like,
like, I
oh,
understand what you're going for here, but no, we don't need that. Um and this is as someone who in his more idle moments has thought about like trying to like incorporate kind of like different unique items into hardcore no disqualification matches. I've always thought that someone should implement hot sauce. Just like
like
have someone in like the rear chin lock and have their mouth open and just like pour hot sauce in their mouth, like and like have them sell. Like that would be great. That would be hilarious. I think.
like pretend like have them sell that as ghost pepper hot sauce. It's
Yeah,
like eat
exactly.
it. That Scoville scale will be off the charts.
Yep.
But again, the concept of the Wicked Garden match is really cool. I don't want it to not come back again because I do think it's different and it's fun. But just have a couple things marinate a little bit, certain spots be reevaluated, and yeah.
Sure.
So, but for our first outing, I was gonna be like, you know what, you done good, pig. You done good.
It for me. It like as an initial outing and sort of a proof of concept. I'm gonna give it a C plus.
I agree with you. I
You
was
know,
just like,
like
you
it
done good,
shows
pig. You done good.
it passes and it shows potential, but there's a lot of room for improvement.
Oh, 100%. And hopefully the only way we can go up. Now, the last thing I do need to talk about this because the Righteous do pick up the win over Matthew and Jeffrey here, but the lights go out and they disappear. So I'm like, it's not over. Or maybe they're going to take some time off and then, then we can revisit this. But
This feud has been going on for 6 months.
yes, I was like, please let this be done. But it's probably not. Anyways, well, we made it to the end of another TNA show. You know what? We talk a lot of smack. We do criticize some things, but listen, I wouldn't be here if I didn't find entertainment in
Oh,
TNA
sure.
sometimes.
And it's I can't remember if I've made this point on this podcast before or not, but it's a thing that's been on my mind a lot lately. As an RPG fan who does not like some of the business decisions that Wizards of the Coast is making, and who is developing a game of his own, you know, and like whenever like you get people who say like, oh, why do you always criticize the thing? Why do you always like, talk shit about, Wizards of the Coast or Dungeons and Dragons or what have you? And it reminds me of Charles Bukowski. If you're not familiar, Charles Bukowski, poet from the 70s, or most prolific in the 70s. I think he died in like the early to mid 90s, something like that. But if you're not familiar, his poetry was always very kind of visceral and bleak, like lots of sort of scatological references in the comparison of like quality of life, like talks about just being a smudge of shit on a piece of toilet paper drifting out to sea kind of thing, like but it's so people have always sort of pegged him as a cynic, but that wasn't true. He wasn't a cynic. He even said in interviews like, no, I don't consider myself a cynic, because cynicism, that's a loser's game. Like, if you're a cynic and you think that everything's just going to be bad forever, there's no life in that. There's no energy. There's no passion in that. And yet his art was always very negative, was always very like, this is fucked up. And the thing about that, though, is that the people that are so frequently angry or bitter or depressed or any of these other negative emotions, 99 times out of 100, I would say, it's because they do love a thing and they want it to be better. They wish it could be better. They remember when it was better, and they want to see it become better in the future, and they can sort of point out like what would make it better. And so, yeah, that's why we talk shit about wrestling. It's like, that's why I consider myself the chief hating officer of TNA, because I know TNA can be a great promotion. This was the home of AJ Styles and Petey Williams. This was the okay. I know everybody complains about the Canadian Destroyer being overplayed. This is the place where it was invented. And Samoa Joe and Christopher Daniels, and there have been some legends that have come through here. There have been some shitty legends that have come through here too, and I just said that in terms of like the performances and athleticism. In terms of like promos, one of my very favorite promos of all time is Jay Lethal and Ric Flair. The woo off, like they're both trying to woo at each other, and it's just they both end up like throwing their jackets on the ground to elbow drop them, and it's madness and it's chaos and it's hilarious. There are elements in TNA that make you wonder, like why can't more of it be like this? Like we've said, like Eric Young going full tinfoil hat. That, like, those moments were great. Or letting him, bat shit off with EC3, or the Undead Realm feuding with the Elegance brand. That is pitch perfect. Hell, like they even have who I think is in a prime position to be like, if they let Hometown Man cut promos, you could have a top tier comedy act on your hands. And like, right, and I think as we're seeing in other promotions right now, comedy acts are money. It's how we're seeing it with Danhausen and Joe Hendry in WWE. We're seeing, like, we've been seeing it with Orange Cassidy in AEW, and honestly, I've had debates with people as to whether or not this is actually supposed to be a comedy gimmick, but I love the fact that they have taken Leo Rush's Blackheart gimmick and turned him into this like weird little wrestling golem.
Let me tell you, that backstage segment with the conglomeration and
it's like
how they did it is so good. Like,
I'm not sure it's supposed to be funny, but I think it's great. Like,
listen, I'm behind it 100%.
Yeah, it's like, is it supposed to be making us feel uncomfortable and laughing at it a little bit? Good, because it's doing that. It's like, and like, people don't know what to think about him, and it's like, and like, especially having seen Leo Rush go through a couple of different gimmicks since he's been in AEW, and I'm just like, having seen him do the Blackheart thing on the indies, it's like, dude, just go back to that, please. And
that is exactly what he's doing, and it's been great.
So, but like, yeah. You got, so that's, like I said, having someone like, let the Hometown Man cut promos so you can have that comedy gimmick, or and specifically comedy babyface gimmick. Because like you've got comedy heel gimmicks in here with like Mr. Elegance, but that doesn't hit the same way because they're sort of antagonizing the crowd. Like you want to be able to get this, like you want to be able to get this character here and just say the funniest stuff and have him like have the hometown man just say like I'm happy to be here in my hometown of, and like pause for a second and just sort of look around, like make sure he's like, or one of the best ones was Mick Foley, when one time he comes out to cut a promo and said the name of the wrong city, and then the next time he cuts a promo, he says, "I'm happy to be here in Cincinnati," and then he like holds up his hand to the camera and it's written on his palm, Cincinnati. It's like
there are there are elements that we really enjoy with TNA. We truly do, and it's because we both have in different areas and in different eras of TNA. We know we can get it back to it to being really good and really, I won't. I will say this, and then we can wrap this up. Of all of the shows that we cover here and of all the hosts that we have, and it's not in a bad way. I want to preface by saying that because I don't want people coming after my friends on here, but I always end up getting, it's always the short end of the stick. It's always the butt of the joke where, people are just like, how can you watch TNA? It's crazy. And I was like, I know it's crazy, but I'm here every single week because damn it, I love it. And I know how great it can be. I just need TNA to make better decisions in certain areas. You have really good stuff. Otherwise, I wouldn't be here covering it every Friday evening for the most part, or pay to watch all the pay-per-views and watch all the shows and do report cards. And yes, I will complain about it, but it's like what Will mentioned, is that it's because we know how good it can be. It just needs to find its way back there. And I will never stop watching TNA. Well, I mean, I can't say that now and knock on wood, but I'm here for the long haul and I know TNA can do it. I just need them to get it together in certain areas.
Yep.
But that, I think with that has been our TED Talk for the evening. And that wraps up our TNA post show. But yeah, I mean, I mean this in the truest sincerity, Will. Like, I know, like you said, we have fun, talk a lot of crap. We have our highs, we have our lows, but honestly, I wasn't sure how this was going to work out when I initially asked you. Be like, hey, so TNA, right? Do you want to do this with us? And so, like, yeah, but truly and honestly, it's really a breath of fresh air to have these types of conversations, because every host that I have always brings something different, and I love having this types of conversation with you, especially when it comes to our, our TNA locker room and just the optics and everything. You, my friend, are a true delight, and I enjoy having you here every Friday with me.
I do what I can.
And you do it well. That will do, Will. That will do. And on that note, before it gets too overly saturated with sappiness, we got to get up on out of here. This is a bit of a short week for BC Wrestle Pod as things are coming to a close in terms of my work life for the academic school year. But the summer is just starting and we are kicking things off. We have a full week next week starting this Sunday. Due to different things and changes of the schedule, this is how everything is going to go down. Sunday evening is our AEW post show. Normally that's on Tuesdays, but because of certain things happening, we are going to be doing AEW's post show this week on Sunday. Monday, we get a double feature of New Japan's Best of the Super Juniors finals and Eve Pro Wrestling's 100, in which, of course, our main event is Chris Statlander defending the Eve International Championship against probably one of the craziest strikers I have ever seen in the last couple of years, Miyu Yamashita. So that match is going to be fun to talk about, as well as the rest of the show. Tuesday, we are debuting our AAA post show, as we will be talking about Noches de Grandes, which is going to be a lot of fun to talk about. So then on Wednesday, back to our regular schedule, NXT, CMLL. Thursday is Mystery Wrestling 26, as well as Progress Chapter 195, Wonder Brawl 2. And then we'll be back here Friday with another TNA post show. So summer's coming in hot, y'all, and it's going to be great. But from all of us here at BC Wrestle Pod to you at home, remember, take care of yourself, love one another, stay iconic, and more importantly than anything, you always deserve to finish your story. We'll catch you Sunday to kick off a really fun week with our AEW post show. But until then, sayonara, adios, and until next time, peace.